To understand the gravity of this potential swap, we need to take a step back and consider the evolution of player exchange deals in elite football. Once viewed as risky gambles, player-for-player swaps were relatively rare in the Premier League throughout the early 2000s. They often represented a last resort, a way to offload unwanted assets rather than a strategic maneuver. But the financial landscape of football has changed dramatically in the last decade. The introduction and tightening of financial fair play regulations, combined with UEFA's increasingly unforgiving profit and sustainability rules, have forced clubs to rethink their entire approach to transfer business. A decade ago, Manchester United's last significant swap saw Nani head to Sporting Lisbon, with Marcos Rojo traveling in the opposite direction. At the time, the deal was seen as an anomaly. Today, however, clubs are under unprecedented pressure to balance their books. Splashing out hundreds of millions of pounds in cash is no longer feasible for even the richest teams. Instead, executives are treating players as assets on a financial chessboard, seeking not just sporting upgrades, but also the approval of auditors. Swap deals, once the exception, are fast becoming the rule. Enter Ollie Watkins. The English striker has emerged as one of the Premier League's most consistent goal scorers over the last few seasons. His relentless work ethic, intelligent movement, and clinical finishing have elevated him to the top of Manchester United's wish list. Manager Ruben Amorim, brought in to inject fresh ideas and intensity, is reportedly a huge admirer of Watkins. Speaking to reporters, Amorim emphasized, "Watkins is precisely the kind of forward who can transform our attack. His tireless running, tactical intelligence, and proven record in the league make him a perfect fit for the system we want to play." Yet for Aston Villa, the story is equally compelling and fraught with risk. Under the stewardship of Unai Emery, Villa have risen from mid-table mediocrity to genuine contenders for European places. Their upcoming Europa League campaign is both a reward and a challenge, demanding greater squad depth and resilience. However, the club's financial situation is tight. Modern football's regulations leave little room for error. Selling a prized asset like Watkins could provide the funds needed for a comprehensive squad overhaul. But what if, instead, Villa could trade him for established names, players with experience in both domestic and European competition? Names like Harry Maguire, Mason Mount, and even the precocious Alejandro Garnacho have all been floated as potential makeweights in a deal for Watkins. Each brings unique qualities and unique challenges. Harry Maguire, now in his early 30s, is at a pivotal moment in his career. After a much-maligned spell as United captain, Maguire enjoyed something of a renaissance last season, but with only 1 year remaining on his contract, United know this summer may be their last realistic chance to extract value from his departure. His leadership and experience could be invaluable for Villa as they prepare for grueling European nights, but Paul Merson, the outspoken pundit, has warned, Villa's system is built on quick transitions and high defensive lines. Maguire, for all his qualities, might struggle to adapt. Then there is Mason Mount, once the darling of Chelsea's midfield, and now a player in search of a new beginning. Mount's versatility is both a blessing and a curse. He can operate as a number 10, a central midfielder, or even on the wing. However, injuries have blighted his progress, and with Bruno Fernandes and Amad Diallo ahead of him in the pecking order, his future at Old Trafford looks uncertain. Former United captain Gary Neville commented recently, "Mount has all the tools to succeed at a top club if he stays fit and gets a run of games. Maybe a move to Villa, where he'd be given a central role, is exactly what he needs." And then there's Alejandro Garnacho, a name on everyone's lips. The young Argentine winger, still in his early 20s, has already shown flashes of brilliance, dazzling fans with his pace, flair, and eye for goal. Reports suggest United's asking price for Garnacho is in the region of £50 to £60 million, a figure not far from Watkins' estimated value. Swapping Garnacho for Watkins could create a straightforward, financially balanced deal. Yet the loss of such a promising talent would sting for United supporters, who have already seen Garnacho photographed in a Villa shirt this summer, igniting a flurry of rumors and heated debates online. Amidst the swirl of speculation, football finance experts have stepped forward with words of caution. Kieran Maguire, a leading authority on the economics of the game, explains, "On paper, swap deals appear neat and tidy. Both clubs declare similar player values, which helps the balance sheet. But the reality is more complex. If the values are inflated, or if one player flops, the long-term financial damage can be severe. Clubs must tread carefully." Let's break down why these deals are so attractive and so perilous. Under UEFA's profit and sustainability rules, clubs must ensure that their spending does not outpace revenue. Failure to comply can result in fines, squad restrictions, or even bans from European competition. Swap deals allow clubs to record immediate profits by attributing a high value to the incoming player, even if little cash actually changes hands. But this accounting sleight of hand can backfire if the player fails to deliver on the pitch, leaving the club saddled with a large amortized expense and an underperforming squad member. So, what are the possible outcomes if this high-profile swap goes ahead? Let's imagine a world in which Ollie Watkins dons the famous red shirt of Manchester United. For supporters, the excitement would be palpable. With his proven Premier League experience, Watkins could lead the line in Ruben Amorim's dynamic attacking system. Many pundits believe Amorim would shift United's formation to a more direct 4-2-3-1, allowing Watkins to play off the shoulder of the last defender, supported by creative talents like Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. Alan Shearer, the Premier League's all-time top scorer, recently observed, "Watkins never stops running. He's the kind of striker defenders hate to play against, and the kind United have missed since the days of Wayne Rooney." But football, as we know, is rarely that simple. If Watkins fails to settle, the pressure at Old Trafford can be unforgiving. The ghosts of strikers past, Radamel Falcao, Alexis Sanchez, even Romelu Lukaku, serve as cautionary tales. Should Watkins falter, and if the outgoing United player blossoms at Villa, the deal could quickly be seen as a costly miscalculation. For Villa, losing Watkins would undoubtedly be a blow. He has been the heartbeat of their attack, scoring crucial goals and linking play with intelligence and selflessness. Replacing him will not be easy, though names like Jonathan David of Lille and Serhou Guirassy of Stuttgart have been mentioned as possible successors. Financially, Villa must weigh the short-term benefits of adding an experienced player against the risk of disrupting squad harmony. Bringing in someone like Maguire or Mount could add valuable depth and leadership, but could also upset the balance that Emery has so carefully cultivated. And, crucially, if the swap is poorly valued, Villa could find themselves hamstrung by UEFA's regulations in future windows, limiting their ability to strengthen elsewhere. There's also the emotional aspect to consider. Fans form deep connections with certain players, cult heroes who embody the spirit of the club. For Villa supporters, Watkins has become exactly that. His journey from the lower leagues to Premier League stardom is a source of pride, and his departure would be keenly felt. On the other side, United fans are divided. Some crave a proven goal scorer to spearhead a new era, while others worry about the loss of homegrown talents like Garnacho. Social media is ablaze with passionate arguments, memes, and debates, proof that in football, transfers are never just about money or tactics. They are about identity, hope, and the dreams of millions. Looking at the broader landscape, this potential swap is emblematic of a wider trend in European football. Financial regulations are no longer background noise, they are the main event. Clubs are hiring teams of data analysts, accountants, and lawyers to navigate the maze of rules and regulations. In many cases, more time is spent modeling transfer scenarios on spreadsheets than scouting players on the pitch. The smartest clubs know that success is built not just on talent, but on timing, negotiation, and financial discipline. Consider the precedent set by previous high-profile swaps. In 2014, when United sent Nani to Sporting and welcomed Rojo, the deal was hailed as a masterstroke. Yet in hindsight, neither player truly fulfilled expectations at their new club. Across Europe, other swaps, like the Miralem Pjanic-Arthur exchange between Barcelona and Juventus, have come under intense scrutiny for their financial engineering. In some instances, clubs have faced investigations for allegedly inflating player values to skirt financial rules. The lesson is clear. Clever accounting can provide short-term relief, but the footballing gods are rarely fooled for long. So what practical lessons can fans, analysts, and club executives draw from this unfolding saga? First, transfers are no longer isolated events. They are components of a larger strategy that encompasses sporting goals, financial targets, and regulatory compliance. Every deal must be scrutinized from multiple angles. Does it improve the team tactically? Does it make sense financially? Will it stand up to UEFA's forensic examination? Second, the importance of adaptability cannot be overstated. Clubs that are agile, able to pivot quickly in response to new opportunities or challenges, are more likely to thrive in this environment. For Manchester United, that could mean pulling off a complex swap that secures a top-class striker without breaking the bank. For Aston Villa, It might involve reinvesting wisely, building a squad capable of competing on multiple fronts while staying within budget. Third, communication is key. Successful clubs are those that can manage expectations, both internally and externally. Fans want to see ambition, but they also crave stability. A high-profile swap deal can generate excitement, but it can also create anxiety if the rationale is not clearly explained. Transparency about the club's strategy and a willingness to engage with supporters can make all the difference. As the summer transfer window heats up, the stakes could not be higher. Manchester United are desperate to return to the Champions League and cement their place among Europe's elite. Aston Villa, riding the wave of their Europa League qualification, are determined not to be one-season wonders. For both clubs, the Ollie Watkins swap represents a tantalizing mix of risk and reward, a chance to seize the initiative or a potential misstep with long-lasting consequences. Looking further ahead, what might the future hold for each club if the deal goes through? If Watkins delivers at Old Trafford, scoring consistently and leading United to domestic or European glory, the deal will be remembered as a masterstroke. United's commercial power will grow, and the club's global brand will be further burnished. If, on the other hand, Villa's new arrivals gel quickly and help the team reach new heights, Unai Emery will be hailed as a visionary, able to reinvent his squad without breaking the bank. But if the deal unravels, if Watkins fails to adapt, or if United's outgoing talent becomes a star at Villa Park, the blame game will begin. Critics will question the wisdom of the swap, pointing to the hidden dangers of financial engineering and the unpredictability of football. For every successful transfer, there are countless cautionary tales of deals that looked good on paper but failed on the pitch. From a broader economic perspective, the Watkins saga is a microcosm of football's new reality. Gone are the days when clubs could spend with abandon, safe in the knowledge that television revenues would cover any mistakes. Today, every decision is scrutinized by regulators, investors, and supporters alike. The margin for error is razor thin, and the consequences of failure can be severe, both financially and competitively. For aspiring analysts and fans who want to understand the modern game, this is a golden opportunity to study the interplay between tactics, finance, and regulation. Watch closely how clubs structure their deals, how they assess player value, and how they communicate their strategies. The age of blind spending is over. We are now in the era of calculated risk and strategic maneuvering. So, after all this analysis, where do we stand? Is the Ollie Watkins swap a masterstroke for both clubs, a deal that balances ambition with financial prudence? Or is it a dangerous gamble that could backfire spectacularly? The truth, as is often the case in football, lies somewhere in between. The deal represents the cutting edge of modern club management, where every move is a blend of sporting instinct and financial acumen. If both clubs execute their plans to perfection, this could be remembered as a transformative moment in Premier League history, a win-win that sets a new standard for others to follow. As the curtain rises on another dramatic summer window, one thing is certain: the world will be watching. Every twist and turn, every rumor and revelation will be dissected by pundits, analysts, and fans alike. For now, stay curious, keep questioning conventional wisdom, and remember, in the new age of football, the smartest play is often the one you never see coming. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the financial and tactical chess match behind the Ollie Watkins swap saga, make sure to subscribe for more insider stories from the intersection of economics and sport. What would you do if you were in the shoes of Manchester United or Aston Villa's decision-makers? Would you risk it all on a swap deal of this magnitude, or play it safe and stick to tradition? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and join us next time.